In April of this year, government painted a red line to mark the innermost lanes of Thika Superhighway and called it the Bus Rapid Transport System. These lanes would be dedicated to 100-seater passenger buses and would help ease congestion in the city. President Uhuru Kenyatta himself vowed to be on one of those buses by December 12th of this year on the BRT lane. It's now 1 month to Jamhuri Day and there's been little movement on this project. Kenyans and observers now ask, was government serious about the BRT project? What has led to the delay of this project? Or was this just another populist move by the Jubilee government?
Hata kuna mwenye alikuja kutuambia hii barabara, hii laini inatumiwa na gari gani ama inatumiwa na magari kutoka side gani. Sababu tulisikia wakisema kuna barabara watakuwa na nini, wanatega ambulance ya mabasi, na tukiangalia tunaonaga magari yote inaenda kama imechanganyika. Hakuna wenye wanafuata hiyo nini, hiyo line ya red.
Mimi nikienda shule hakuna mahali niliona line ya red. Sawa, mimi line yenye niliona ni yellow na white.
Up to now, I don't see how it is helping. As you can see now, no one is following the law. No one is following the line.
The fading red line appears unpopular with motorists on the superhighway.
We have a dedicated lane for buses.
But Infrastructure Secretary at the Transport Ministry, Engineer Francis Gitao, says the line is just the beginning of the system. A system, he says, will have high-capacity buses, connections with cyclists and passenger lanes, bus stations with self-service payment booths, and dedicated fast lanes for public transport, just like Tanzania has, as seen here in these images.
Ours is, we shall save your time, we shall save your money, we shall give you a comfortable ride. You will be safe, you can trust this bus, you can put your child in the bus and go home and sleep.
Engineer Gitao says Kenya is borrowing ideas from other economies but will create its own unique BRT system. Thika Road will be the pilot phase of this project. But with already established road infrastructure, we wanted to know how Thika Road can be transformed into this.
This is the case of Thika Road.
Right.
This is what we expect, the case of Thika Road, because on either side of Thika Road, we may have a projection of between 120 and 150,000 people per day.
It doesn't seem that we have spaces for this type of structures.
Yes.
How is it possible to still get this?
No, what we are doing is we are improving new stations. But currently, all locations of pedestrian crossings, we are improving them to take the ridership, the kind of demand we have. Right. And we will be getting people over the bridges onto the BRT corridor.
The Nairobi Metropolitan Area Transport Authority has proposed the construction of BRT stations at these specific spots along the superhighway. Most of these either have bridges or pedestrian crossings. Namata has also proposed the construction of park and ride facilities at Ruiru, Githurai and Kasarani, transfer stations at the 3 locations, as well as elevated U-turn ramps. The other phase of this project will see a BRT system interconnecting the CBD all the way to Kenyatta National Hospital. The proposal may see Tom Mboya Street dedicated solely to BRT traffic. This means that no other type of vehicle would be allowed on that street. But it's been 7 months since the red lines were painted. Why is there no progress on the roads?
What has happened currently is that there is a lot of planning. The planning is being done in several spaces. Like the infrastructure plans, they are being undertaken by our road agencies, of course coordinated by Namata. When you talk about service plans and business plans, these are being done by consultancy services through development partner assistance, and we are in touch with them on a daily basis.
The bus specifications have already been agreed, and we have shared them and sent to Kenya Bureau of Standards.
Although the infrastructure bit of the project is heavy and expensive, government's biggest challenge at the moment is to sell this idea to the people currently running the transport business. Edwin Mukabana, Managing Director of Kenya Bus Services, has his fears.
Government can run 200 buses and will oppose the idea of the government running buses. The government should put an enabling environment and let private sector do the business.
Stakeholders in this industry have got to be incorporated in all these developments. We wouldn't want to see them fade off because this is their area of livelihood.
We have started with the public transport operators. We are meeting with them every Wednesday. We've been able to thrash out an MOU. Having an MOU with public transport operators, it is the first time this has happened in Kenya. So we are working together. We are talking the same language.
I think there was a big hurry and they skipped quite a number of steps, which they are trying to mend, but the procedure has not been followed properly. For example, BRT is not just buses. You don't just bring buses and bring BRT is a system. You have to look at several things before you bring about that, before you solve the problem.
The next question is on budget issues. World Bank appears to be the biggest funder at the moment for this project. Government is, however, unclear on the total cost of setting up the full BRT system.
We are adding 5 billion shillings of a grant to help, hopefully in 2 or 3 years, to have a mass and bus rapid transport system.
You will not be able to put a finger on the exact cost. But we are thinking that like the bus stops and the access to the stations and the road marking and the infrastructure all the way to Kenyatta and back may sometimes go to the tune of 7 billion in the initial investment.
The World Bank estimates that Nairobi traffic jams cost the city 50 million shillings per day. But if government is able to set up a fully functional BRT system, the city could be transformed into a true metropolis. But whether or not the state will be able to convince the private transport sector to play game appears to be the make or break factor of this project. Asha Mwilu on special assignment in Nairobi.